Hello, I'm Viktor, Bensus, a PhD student in sociology at CUNY, the Graduate Center, and this is the video abstract for my paper, Improving Local Governance with Citizen Engagement, Quotidian Participatory Mechanisms into Middle-Class Districts in Lima, Peru. In this paper, I analyze how a usually overlooked type of participatory innovation, what I call quotidian participatory mechanisms, or QPMs, shape citizen engagement in planning and local governance. QPMs are quotidian in two senses: in their frequency, daily or weekly, and because they treat complex urban issues as mundane individual problems. They also share three central characteristics. First, the search for efficient solutions to quotidian problems. Second, the individualized treatment of public urban issues. Third, the use of new information and communication technologies, ICTs. In order to understand in what context QPMs became useful tools for local governments and how they shape citizen involvement, I answered three central questions. First, why and how did QPMs become an important governance tool in Lima? Second, by analyzing their design and implementation, I aim to show how QPMs shape the relationship between citizens and local governments. Third, I discuss the advantages and limitations that QPMs present for urban governance and planning. To answer all these three questions, I contrast or juxtapose different middle-class districts in metropolitan area of Lima, Miraflores and San Miguel. I analyze QPMs in these two districts. In Miraflores, I analyze the weekly hearings governed with the resident, in which local residents can present their demands, complaints, or suggestions directly to a municipal official or even to the mayor. In San Miguel, I analyze the work of community participation promoters, who make daily rounds to gather demands, inform residents about municipal events or normative, and take service about urban infrastructure and zoning changes. By juxtaposing or contrasting two similar cases, I'm able to highlight their particularities and differences, but also their similarities. My main findings suggest that QPMs were implemented in the context of broader socioeconomic changes that led to a need to reconcile economic growth and service provision at the local scale. Although they both foster individualized forms of participation that exclude deliberation and limit proposal making, my findings show variations on how they shape relationships between residents and local governments. For instance, San Miguel's promoters' daily visits open space to develop patronage politics. That is, promoters channel demands and services in exchange of potential political support. In Miraflores, on the other hand, hearings are held in municipalities' public areas, which reduces the possibility of developing patronage politics. However, its design and broad definition of who is a resident frame access to services based on being a taxpayer, what I call customer-citizen logic. These two logics help to socialize citizens on how to participate and define what content falls under their scope of participation, reducing participation to a level of tokenism by excluding its political dimension, deliberation. With this paper, I also engage in discussions with literature about middle classes participation and neoliberal governmentality. For instance, my findings of QPM's individual participation suggest that middle classes' influence in participatory spaces is more complex and can be more limited than what part of the literature suggests. Also, individualized participation and the different ways in which local governments use ICTs brings some nuances to the concept of neoliberal governmentality. That is, there is hardly an individual's moral engagement to a community, nor a sophisticated management of information generated through these participatory spaces. I hope you get a chance to read my paper, and please feel free to contact me at my email here if you have questions, comments, or any feedback that you would like to share with me.